Hello everyone, Desert Wolf here. I'm back with another turn of the Spirits of Tsushima campaign. It's been quite a while actually. It's June 3rd, 1942, and I believe the last turn that I uploaded was maybe 10 days, a week, 2 weeks. Oh, I don't really remember, but it's been a while. So I decided to upload again because this is going to be a big turn, I think, and I will explain more at the end of the turn, but it's a big attack at Madras is going to go in today, where the Allies have two divisions and two brigades in the garrison, and I am looking to break it down. And I'm also using a bombardment of 6 battleships to do so. So we'll watch, and I'll explain more at the end of the turn what's been happening and give a status update. Since I know it's been a while since the last update. Okay, so that's the bombardment force, and yes, there is a minefield at Madras. And the minefield did not damage any of my ships, but on the other side of the map in the Aleutians, I have a ship that just took 2 torpedoes from an allied submarine. Definitely going to sink. I think it's carrying a battalion actually. So this is going to be a decent score for the allies. Nicely done by my opponent encircled here. I think this definitely is going to sink. Yeah, it sank. But on the good news is the bombardment task force reached Madras and did not hit any of the mines. And they're setting up to do a daylight bombardment, so we won't see a bombardment during the night. Lots of Allied movement. Some Allied sweeps here over Rashpur. So essentially what's happening is I am looking to, again, defeat the garrison of Madras and finish it off. And in the meantime, the Allies are mobilizing across the line here, realizing that the bulk of my Japanese army in India is concentrated in Madras. And they're looking to move south quickly and take some terrain before I can extricate my forces from their mission here. So that's the gist of it. I'll go into more detail later. Strike some small Australian force at Broome. Okay, so I'm coming in here with some air support as well. I think the Allies also know that we're about to attack because they spotted the battleships, and I guess they have to conclude that there's no reason for them to be there really unless they're going to do a bombardment. So we might even see some Allied aircraft attempt to interfere. But this is definitely my bombers attacking, and I have some other waves that hopefully will arrive. And there are striking 20th Infantry Division, the Madras Fortress. There's also the 26th Indian Division there as well as 2 other brigades. So not much damage, but disruption is good as well. Even if it doesn't cause casualties at this point, every little bit helps. So far, so just some bombing in China. Lots of allied recon. Oh, 23 B-17s coming in. I have some cap up to run interference. So the problem with Oscars is their weak armament. It's really, they're not going to do much against fortresses with 212.7 millimeter machine guns. But everything helps. Like, it's going to throw off their aim. They get some damage on the B-17s. Some of these B-17s are going to crash, even if they don't get outright destroyed. Hitting them and then having flank, you know, fire on the damaged bombers increases the chance that the bombers get destroyed. So even if I don't see any B-17s destroyed here, this cap does not mean it hasn't done its job. I did think of putting another Sentai up, actually, but I didn't, and I should probably have done that. Would have added more fighters to the mix. I'm getting a lot of good hits on these bombers, so that's good. The Allies get 15 heavy bombers, four engine bombers every month, basically throughout 1942. It's not that many. All right, that's one bomber down. It's actually pretty good, given that I'm flying Oscars here with or the original Oscars. Okay, so 22 bombers make it through. Knocking out fortresses. Many of these are damaged by the Oscars, so they're going to be much more vulnerable to flat. This is a really good result. 16 damaged fortresses, 1 destroyed in the air, 2 by flak. I think we saw 3 destroyed by flak in the actual combat result, combat animation, which is the accurate um, version of what's actually happened. And since they're flying extended, this is going to, I think, lots of ops losses as well. So we'll see at the end, but I think it's really good results and minimal damage. As you can see, there was enough interference to really throw off their aim there. Yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with that. We've actually just been having a conversation on Discord over for engine bombers and how they might be too overpowered or not. I mean, my view is yes, they are very strong and a very tough tool in the Allied arsenal, but of course you can. There's a counter. There's a counter to everything in this game. So it looks like he's going to flash bore to close the airfield. Now that I'm distracted, I have most of my fighters actually to the west right now, to western India. There's lightnings flying over here. Small lightning force flying over here. Lots of weather interference. Some fortresses strike the Cold Bay. Warrington Island. That's the end of the air phase. And here's the bombardment. And Mashiro leads the way. Fuso opening up on the 26th Indian. Mutsu with the 40cm guns. Sister ship Nagato. All right. So he brought in an MTB. I think he was trying to pack enough to run interference once he saw the bombardment was coming, but it's got blasted. That's a really good damage. A lot of support units are going to be wrecked. The engineers, heavily, a lot of destroyed engineers. Yeah, really happy with the results here. Nice. Okay, well, this should help with the attack. That's probably the MTV sinking. Here we go. Japanese attack at Madras. This is the enemy force. We have two Indian divisions, 26th and 20th. Two brigades, 26th and 84th, and various enemy headquarters units, engineers, and Madras Fortress. So I'm gonna zoom through this and let's hope for a good result. All right, that's actually really good. So yeah, I knew they had level 4 fortifications. I already knew that from the previous reconnaissance attack. And the engineers reduced fortifications 3, assault reduced fortifications 3. 3-1, that's excellent. And the disruption, that's from the airstrikes and mostly the battleships as well. And the combat result is really good. I mean, obviously I suffered more disabled, but that's to be expected. But given the smaller force, I have 3,335 AV and he has 776. So if we trade even losses, that's much better for me, obviously, than for him. So this is looking good. I think I can probably take it pretty soon, if nothing happens to throw off the momentum here. So just pushing a core, Chinese core in here. Japanese deliberate attack in this sector. One to one. Pretty good result. Isolated the American, not American, Commonwealth / Chinese garrison at Lashio. The US Marines mopping up in Fiji. I'll talk a little bit more about what happened here since the last update, towards the end of the video. All right, that's the end. Okay, I'll do a quick recap here. Let's see if I get reinforcements. Just an AP, okay. Okay, so let's start. I'm sure you've noticed that I have a new map here going on. But yeah, so Fiji, what happened? Since last time we saw what's been going on here. The Allies had landed the 8th Marine Regiment, but it was heavily battered, and half of its strength was destroyed at sea. That was a naval crash. That was the last update that we did. So since then, the Allies reinforced the landing with the Combat Engineer Regiment, and with battleship and cruiser supports and some air supports, they managed to push out the Naval Guard unit and the very partial Naval Guard unit that I flew in as well. So they pushed them out, and I had also a JNAF, Japanese Navy Air Force regiment, or what is it, a battalion? Just the unit, okay. It was at Suva, they took Suva, and now the 8th Marine Regiment, as we saw, is moving towards Nadi and trying to finish off the island. Fiji was ultimately not something I was going to defend in force, it's just too far, it's not worth the logistics. And so I just worked to slow him down, and I think in that sense it's mission accomplished. Numea finished off the American regiment here. That was the force that landed. Numea got trapped and annihilated when I brought reinforcements. Here's just a picket. Anyway, some forces here. That's basically the South Pacific. It's relatively quiet for now, but I think he has carriers around, and probably might strike here next, if I have to guess. Philippines still holding here, but they're out of supply. I'm just waiting for some units to get freed up from China, and then I'm moving here. China, going really well. Chongqing captured. I mentioned that last update. I've pushed since then down to Guiyang, captured Guiyang, and basically moving towards Kunming and Baoshan, this line here. And in the meantime, also going to move down here to free up the forces here, and I think these regiments might take it before they arrive anyways. So mopping up operations essentially in China. Also got forces moving to take Urumqi. This is captured. So China is well in hand, and I freed up like something ridiculous, like 6 or 8 divisions thereabouts that are going to make their way to the coastal ports and embark for new destinations. And then finally, India. What's been happening? Okay, so I am bringing reinforcements and supply, and as I mentioned, moving to annihilate this force in Madras. This is just a small, tiny tank regiment, which is already heavily battered. So moving to finish off the enemy forces at Madras, and encircled, the opponents can't see that. He knows what's going on. So essentially what he's doing is he's trying to move fast and try to take advantage of my concentration at Madras to push through here and try to take territory. But given the very successful bombardment and the really good follow-up, I'm feeling very confident that I should be able to take Madras before he gets too far. And then I can rail them in and hold the line and maybe even counterattack relatively soon. Yes, definitely counterattack when the forces from China arrive, but that's the plan, is to hold, make sure to finish off Madras, hold, and yeah, maybe take some on as well. I think that might be my next offensive operation in this area. Okay, so that's the general gist of it and about what's been happening. Let's look at what happened this turn. So in the air, 10 Allied losses, 7 Japanese, 8 fortresses shot down. Let's see, allies. Yeah, 8 fortresses and a couple of seaplanes. This is accurate. It's 10, it's fine. And for me, I lost 3 Oscars in that fight against the fortresses and some ops losses. 8 fortresses in a day is without them achieving much at all, is an excellent result. Again, that's more than half the monthly production of the Allies, so certainly can't complain there. Ship losses. Oh yeah, the one bad thing that's happened this turn is the sinking of Tsushima by S-47 in the Aleutians. I think there was a infantry battalion. Yeah, 306 Independence Infantry Battalion that was on board, so that sucks. I will rebuild it. Army points losses are currently 567 Japanese and 13,160 Allied, so not too bad there. Aircraft losses 1,873 for myself and 2,542 for the Allies. And as you can see, ships, substantial difference as well. Political points, I think I'm somewhere between, I guess, 4.7 or 4.8 to 1. If I take Madras, it will get really close to, I think 4.9 or something. We'll get really close to 5. Okay, so now I'll just leave it there. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.